Hey, that handsome guy lives on the intersection of First and Football, and that good-looking man might be the biggest villain in the NFL. Patty Mahomes, First and Football, says he enjoys being the villain. I'm giving you the quote now. I like to be the villain. It's just as fun to go to their places and win those games. By the way, he's also really good at it. 32-9 on the road. And if you care about stats, how about this one? 109 touchdowns to only 24 interceptions, and he has never lost a road divisional game. 15-0 in his career against the AFC West on the road. And if you watched any of the recent documentary with him, he's got all the dog you want in a quarterback, Plax.
Yeah, he likes to be the villain, but everybody expects for him to win. He's too much of a pretty boy to be a villain. Spit in somebody's face, get a couple unnecessary roughness, punch somebody in the throat.
Take out a guy's knee or something.
Yeah. Do some Bill Romanowski stuff, and then you'll be a real villain.
And that's what's interesting. In Cincinnati, I get it because that's a rivalry that's building over the last couple of years. But I watch Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not a Chiefs fan, and I love it. It's like watching a great basketball player. Like, I have no connection to him. He doesn't play for the Knicks, but I enjoy watching him play. Yeah. And let's be honest about Patty Mahomes. He might be the most likable superstar in all sports right now. He does everything right.
I don't agree with that.
I agree with that. I don't think he's a villain. I think he's one of the most likable guys in sports because he goes out and do stuff. He goes out and play golf. He goes out and be around people, just like your buddy Aaron Rodgers does. He goes out and be around people and shake people's hands and talk to people and just give them respect that they give him. So I think that he's not. To me, he's not a villain.
Yeah.
To me, he's a good guy. And he goes out there and just does what he's supposed to do.
Like, you don't think he's the most likable guy in football, huh?
No, in football, you said in all of sports.
I did say in all sports, I did.
I would say Steph Curry is probably the most likable guy in all of sports.
I think they're probably in a small little Mount Rushmore, the two of them.
Right. Yeah. But in football, I would say he probably is the most likable guy in the NFL.
Yeah. I'm a diehard Raider fan. I have every reason in the world to hate this man. I can't get enough of him.
Well, the only thing you don't like about Patrick Mahomes, it's not his fault, it's just the way it is that he does sound like Kermit the Frog. Like, outside of that.
When you
That is true. That is true.
When you win and you have 2 world championships, it's easy for everybody to
You can sound like Miss Piggy if you got 2 championships.
And a couple
MVPs.
Yes.
You're easy to beat.
No, he's a rock star who amazingly has a $450 million contract, and you could make the argument he is underpaid.
Wow.
Right. All right, number 2, Tyreek Hill, second football. Tyreek, always happy to talk about his potential. Says this year it's going to be 2,000 yards and a Super Bowl. We're getting that. Believe that.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Okay.
listen. Have you seen who your quarterback is? You ain't getting 2,000 yards and you ain't winning a Super Bowl with 2 as your quarterbacks. You could end that conversation right there.
Wait. Didn't his quarterback get hurt last year?
He had the multiple concussions.
Right.
Yes, he did.
And if he didn't get hurt, do you think he would have gotten 2,000 yards?
I think he would have just south of it.
Not.
My man,
If Tyreek Hill wants
But he was close, though.
If he wants to get 2,000 yards and win a Super Bowl, he never should have left Kansas City.
I didn't say Super Bowl. I said 2,000 yards.
He had the most targets in the NFL ahead of Stephon Diggs. But he said that they weren't making him the number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
2,000 yards in the Miami Dolphins, not going to happen.
Yeah,
or Super Bowl.
Now,
I don't think Super Bowl's going to happen.
He's got one Super Bowl,
yards is a lot.
but
Yes.
2,000 yards is unprecedented.
No.
It doesn't happen. 1,800 yards is a crazy amount of yards.
Jefferson almost got there last year.
Right. So it's interesting, though. I respect it. The guy's a great player, obviously.
All
but
purpose.
at some point, you have to remember where you're playing. They're a good football team. They ain't a locked Super Bowl football team.
No,
I can tell you that. They're not even going to be top 2 in their division this year, let alone win a Super Bowl. All right. Third ad football brings me to New England Patriots safety Adrian Phillips. Adrian Phillips is a guy you've never heard of, which is why he's talking in July. He's also not worried about the AFC East because he says that guy right there is the difference. Obviously, the AFC East is stacked with a bunch of quarterbacks, but the thing we haven't talked about is Bill is a master game planner. Is that right? How many playoff games have they won in the last 3 years? None.
I will say this. Bill Belichick is a master game planner.
Yes.
They do a great job scouting, just like they take the same page of the Miami Heat. They find guys in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round.
Yep.
and Bill finds a way for those guys to play to their strengths.
Yeah.
But are they getting any better? I don't believe so. I think they're going to finish fourth in the AFC.
Yeah, by the way,
he is a master game plan.
Now, listen, he is a great coach. He's a first ballot Hall of Fame coach. No one's ever going to take that away from him. His legacy is secure forever. I doubt anyone will ever come close to the numbers he's put up. He's closing in on Don Shula, of course, for more wins than anybody else, but they're not a good football team. They'll play to the limit of how good they can be because he's that good. But there's not a lot of talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
And listen, you wanted to get Macaroni Jones some help this year.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
No.
D-Hop ends up in Tennessee. You want to see him continue to improve and get better, but he has nobody.
And here's the other thing on that, Plax. When you had Tom Brady there, and you know you're going to win the division by default, and you're going to have home field advantage most likely by default, it's easier to get veteran guys to come in for less money because they know I got a shot at a ring. When you're an average football team, that's why you lose out on guys like DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, you do, because if you're a wide receiver, you're on free agency, and you're looking at what the New England Patriots have at the quarterback position, at running back offensively, it's not a place that guys want to go to, better their career and to. You can't even win the division over there in the AFC because you're the worst team in the division.
Not just that, they're a 500 team in the AFC East since they lost Tom Brady to Tampa. 9-9, only scoring 20 points a game. So it's going to be another bad year for New England, let's be honest. We love it right here in New York. Which brings me right now to fourth down and football. Fourth and football is former New York Giant Evan Ingram, who had a very good year with the Jags last year and having a legitimate quarterback to throw him the football. He signs a 3-year extension for more than $40 million a year. I watched every down of Evan Ingram's career with the New York Giants. He was always open. He just had something on his fingers. He couldn't catch the ball all the time, to me.
Hey, I will say this. Congrats to Evan Ingram. When I saw this contract this morning, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
His guaranteed money that he's making in his guarantee was my whole contract with the New York Giants when I got here in 2005.
24
That
mil.
is how far NFL contracts have come in the last 15 years.
You were born 15 years too early,
Absolutely,
right?
I was.
Yeah, your golf game would be much better.
Apparently, it would be better.
Yeah, but look, 3 years, $42 million, $24 million guaranteed. And why do I highlight that? Because Evan Ingram is a good receiver. He's listed as a tight end. He's really a wide receiver in my book, at least. The money that he just got guaranteed is $5 million more than what the Giants guaranteed in an offer to Saquon Barkley. That's when you know the way people view running backs is totally askew. Meanwhile, Saquon, being the good guy that he is, went on social media and congratulated his former teammate right there.
That's what good guys do.
That's exactly what good
and he had
guys
number 17,
do.
right?
Wait a minute.
Not the same caliber of
Holding
production.
penalty. Bobby
Hey,
Joe.
he is number 17.
Right.
But it's a different caliber of production, as we all know. When he's a 17 in Jacksonville, I was 17 here.
Yeah, 17 is a very special number for wide receivers.
Yeah. He's a tight end.
Yeah, or for anyone who can catch a ball, put it that way. Hey there, thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.